The wind was trying to tear the machine apart before it ever touched the sky. Before the world had airports, before engines roared overhead, before flight felt inevitable, there was only sand, cold air, and doubt. December 17th, 1903. Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. A lonely stretch of dunes where the Atlantic wind cut sharp enough to sting the face. Two brothers stood beside a fragile contraption of wood, wire, and cloth, something that looked less like a miracle and more like a gamble. Wilbur and Orville Wright were not famous. They weren't backed by governments or universities. They were bicycle makers, tinkerers, obsessive note-takers. And for years, the world had told them the same thing. Human flight was either impossible or already solved by someone else. They ignored both ideas. The machine rested on a wooden rail. Its wings trembled in the wind like a living thing. Impatient or afraid, it was hard to tell. The engine rattled, uneven and experimental. This wasn't elegance. This was risk. If anything failed, the propellers, the balance, the lift, this wouldn't be history. It would be a footnote, or worse, a tragedy. A small group of witnesses watched, skeptical but curious. The air smelled of salt and cold metal. Orville lay prone on the wing, hands gripping the controls. Wilbur steadied the frame. And in that moment, the question hanging over them wasn't, will it fly? It was, what happens if it does? The engine surged. The machine jolted forward. Sand scattered, then, almost imperceptibly, it lifted. 12 seconds, 120 feet. That's all it took to fracture the history of humanity. The flyer rose above the ground, not soaring, not graceful, but undeniably airborne. For the first time, a power-controlled airplane carried a human being into the sky. No catapults, no balloons, just force, balance, and belief. When it landed, the world didn't erupt. No headlines screamed, no crowds cheered. But everything had changed. In that brief flight, borders shrank, oceans grew smaller, war, travel, trade, and human imagination were permanently rewritten. The Wright brothers flew 3 more times that day, each flight longer than the last, each one louder than the doubt that had followed them for years. And here's the quiet truth. The most important moment wasn't when the plane landed. It was when it left the ground, when 2 ordinary men proved that the sky was no longer a limit, only a direction. If stories like this ignite something in you, curiosity, wonder, possibility, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment and tell us what moment in history made you see the world differently. Your support helps this channel keep exploring the moments that lifted humanity higher.